In audio. 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 In audio.
Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and this is Mandem Talk. We're in the building. We are here. We're brought to you by Boohoo Man. Big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring today's video. If you want to go and get 10% off your orders, make sure you go check out Boohoo Man. Use the code Saeed. Get that 10% off at checkout. Get the hoodies, the jumpers. I'm wearing a jumper now from Boohoo Man, so make sure you go and get it, people. Link is in the description for all your latest Boohoo Man stuff. And yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. Before we touch on that, let's just bring you the quick breaking news, and that is Lionel Messi has gone into Miami. I'm going to bring you up right now before we start anything. We have to talk about that because that's football, innit, man?
Let's get into this.
Forget United and what they're doing. We need to talk about the GOAT, and it is Lionel Messi to Inter Miami. Here we go. The decision has been made. It's rumored by Leo in the next hours. Announced in the next hours. Messi will play in MLS season. No more chances for Barcelona, despite trying to make it happen. Here we go. Damn, man. End of an era. End of an era, man. This is it now, man. AG. What are you saying, man? What are you saying, Mandem?
Listen, man, that's craziness. Do you know what's crazy? Yeah, I was thinking Ronaldo's gone to. And by the way, I'm not making it about Ronaldo. It's just coincidence. But Ronaldo's gone to Saudi, and I'm thinking them lot are thinking big up Musa as well.
Yeah,
I was just saying, yeah, like how can Ronaldo go to Saudi and then no other players end up following that train? Because once Ronaldo goes, everyone goes. So I'm thinking, is Messi going to be the next one? And then I'm hearing, he's got love for Barcelona. And then all of a sudden, Inter Miami's on job. I'm thinking, like, yeah, to be fair, yeah, people used to go to MLS back in the day. And then he went China. And now it's Saudi. And I'm thinking, is Messi a little bit too far behind? Like, he should have gone Saudi and just tore it up, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, listen, big up Messi, man. Do you know what I mean? Great career and everything else. Not everyone's talking like he's retired. He's not. But he's getting to them stages, man. Do you know what I mean? Man, they're getting to the stages where the big boys are now at the final stages, man. Do you know what I mean? They're They're getting their payouts and they're leaving the sport, man. It reminds me when Ronaldinho left, man. That hurt me, man. When Ronaldinho retired, I was done. My heart was done, man. But listen, big up Messi doing his thing. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Credit to him, man. I will be watching a bit of the MLS just to see how he gets on for the first couple of games, of course. But yeah, that's me on that one. That's me.
Yeah. Big up Rhino, man. What are you making that Messi, man? What are you saying, man? Madness, isn't it?
It's mad, man. You know, like you actually realize, as Ten Hag said, era's come to an end. You get me? So yeah, man. It's a good transition. At least he's not going out wrong, you know, he's doing what he believes he wants to do. And yeah, that's it, man.
Miami, innit? Miami life.
Yeah, that's it, man. Who else went to the MLS? What, Beckham, innit?
Beckham,
yeah.
Lampard,
Zlatan, Henry, Thierry Henry.
It's a little bit like, in terms of the weather, he's going to get the weather of like Barcelona, and it's always going to be hot round there.
Okay.
It's going to be calm. So it's perfect
for the lifestyle, man.
Smooth transition, man.
Just for lifestyle,
yeah, man.
And that.
Miami, innit? Like, it just makes sense, innit? That lifestyle.
You don't need P, you don't need a P.
Yeah, Bale as well. Yeah. You know, apparently, he's going to have a stake in Adidas, man, because obviously the deal is with Adidas, innit? And they've got, Miami's, I think, their base or something like that, or, you know what I mean? So, it's mad. As a Liverpool fan, big up to God AM. He says, I find it funny that MUFC can never play Donny and are settling because he's better than Odegaard, nominated for Ballon d'Or for a reason. Yeah, I don't know. That's wild.
He's my guy, man.
He could have had the potential. Yeah, absolutely. Musa and Tyrone, what are you telling me, broski? What are you telling me? Let me go to Musa first. Lionel Messi, man. If the Qataris came in, you never know, man. We could have had a little Messi there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. It's good for him still, man. I always heard that he's got like real estate in America and he's invested big time in America. So I heard that he's got a lot of business and real estate in America. So the switch was like normal. And I think he's got a family home there. He normally stays a lot of time there, like vacates there every time he's got a vacation. So I think it was just a normal thing. I think he's not really gone to America. He's just gone to his family home and he's setting up shop rather than making a big move where his family don't know nothing about the place. It's like it's a place that they frequent. They've got homes there, business there. I think it was a normal and it was an easy move to him to make. And I just feel like when you're at that level, that you don't really need. I don't know what made Ronaldo go to Saudi, other than money. But when you're at that level, it's not really about that again. You know what I'm trying to say? When you're at that level, it's not really that. I get it for players that's underneath them, man. But them man's been making crazy money for the last 10 years in their careers. You know what I'm saying? Crazy money.
It's true.
So
sorry, Musa, just a quick one though. From a religious standpoint, like there's a lot of Muslims football players who are going to Saudi as well for the state and the law in it because they feel more comfortable. Because let's be honest, like in the Western world, whether we like it or not, objectively, there's a lot of scrutiny in media, English media, etc., and the European media. So maybe that's played a factor into them going to Saudi as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like anyone, and I feel like a lot of the players that's gone to Saudi enjoy the Dubai lifestyle. And anyone that enjoys the Dubai lifestyle, then Saudi's an easy move. So if you've been frequent into
Saudi's
Dubai,
taking over though, man. Saudi's
yeah,
taking over, man.
They are.
They got the golf, they got the wrestling, they got the boxing, they've got everything now, man.
F1,
you know what?
I think the F1's in there.
F1, bro, shout us, man. If you need some content creators, I'm
That's
here.
what I'm saying.
So let's go there.
Why you think I got the? Why you think I got the kufi on? I'm letting them know. I'm letting them know I'm here. I'm here. I'm letting them know. I'm letting the Qataris know that we're here. We're here.
Ambassador Musa, yeah.
I'm an ambassador, man. I'm letting them know.
You go Umrah 1 minute, you can go to the football 1 minute, man. It's life's good, man. You know what I'm saying?
Simple life. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Tyrone, what are you telling them? What are you saying, man?
I'm
Messi,
blessed, man. Big up the Mandem.
Come on.
Of course.
Always.
What did you say, Saeed? So I don't know if I've got a delay. Sorry,
what are you thinking about the Messi situation?
To be fair, do you know what? I just feel like it's not as bad now because everything that's happening in football right now. I feel obviously Kante's going, obviously to Saudi Arabia. You've got Ronaldo, you've got Benzema. There's no difference between Messi going to America and them not going to Saudi Arabia, to be honest, because if you think about it, the MLS has actually been around longer. That's actually more in the global scene. So, yeah, for me, do you know what? It was always going to happen. It was just sort of a matter of when, because Messi's been spoken about with like in Miami as soon as Beckham took over. Like that was one of the first things they were talking about. Oh, Lionel Messi might come. So To be honest, like for him to go to PSG, tried to win the Champions League, didn't. Now I respect him. Do you know what? Yeah, people can have their opinions, but at the end of the day, I look at them and what they've done in their careers, and for like people like Messi, Benzema, Ronaldo to stay at the highest level for as long as they did, I congratulate them. They kind of deserve to go where they want to go. No one can really say anything. They deserve to go where they want to go because they gave us so much. So yeah, man, I don't really have an opinion on it, to be fair. Good luck to them. I hope I see on Twitter, you know, when you're scrolling through a few bangers from them and stuff like that. I'm not really going to be watching the games if I'm honest, but they deserve to go where they want to go. They've given us enough, man.
Absolutely. Well, listen, people, there's nearly 800 of you already in here. We've got to talk about the situation, about the ownership. I'm going to read a few comments, get you kind of understanding what's going on, and then we'll discuss it. But let's start off with the kind of, I want to read you a thread from Ben Jacobs. He kind of explains it very, very good. I feel like with Ben Jacobs, he explains it in a detailed way. So Sheikh Jassim 92 Foundation submitted a 5th bid to buy Man United. It's an improved take it or leave it final offer. If there is no feedback or progress by Friday, Sheikh Jassim will no longer engage. The latest offer went up early in the week, and it's up to be a circa of 6.5 billion with 1 million of pledged investment on top. 92 Foundation sources reiterate their offer is for 100% of the club. It's fully cash and it's transactional, simple. Any sale would clear Man United's debt and provide funding for the player infrastructure and other investment needs. 92 Foundation sources point out their offer is an enormous premium on their current share price. The opening of the transfer window is seen as critical to Sheikh Jassim. In his eyes, it will have enormous bearing in the future of the club, and coming in midsummer will be damaging. That's why 92 Foundation want to exert pressure, as previously reported. On the other hand, the 5th bid by 92 Foundation can be seen as a power move, but as reported, Sheikh Jassim feels he won't be successful. Sources indicate he'll want an exit on his own terms rather than being rejected. On Sir Jim Ratcliffe's side, there remains cautious optimism. There is positive and ongoing communication between Ineos and the Rain Group. Ineos felt nothing is imminent for 1 or 2 weeks, but we now wait and see if how 92 Foundation offer changes. And then there's one more kind of clarifying here that Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos have entered final stage of negotiating with Rain to take over. Musa, chat to us, man. Are you still confident? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I've still got a little bit of faith, and you could call it blind faith, but I still think for me, in the end, the money will talk, innit? Money always talks at the end, and it's a take it or leave it. Or are you kind of like, you know what? They played the game, you know, the Radcliffes, and they're doing their thing, innit? Like, where do you kind of look at it after today, after reading about it today?
I feel like when you're rich to the level that these individuals are, including the Glazers, there's a small pit of people that's in that same space as you. That's why they say, like, what, 10% of the people own 90% of the world. So what I'm trying to get to is that when you're in that small bracket, everyone knows who everyone is. And I feel like deeper than actually making a sale is that in that space where you do a lot of business for a lot of money, you don't want to mug the wrong people off. I think you don't want to take like liberties out of the wrong people. Like, as a fan base, we're looking at it like a sale's being done. But bigger than that, these are people who are doing big international deals for a lot of money. Sometimes they're connected to states. Like, example, if the Glazers were doing business in that part of the world, depending on how they move with this move, they might never ever do business in that part of the world again. Like, it's that deep. You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like it's deeper than especially when you're dealing with them man there. You're not dealing with, you know, Ineos and just a company that's, you know, working in different parts of Europe. And I just feel like the Arab world is developing at a different type of pace. And I feel like Dubai has become the new, like, London is crumbling, bro. Like, London, Paris, New York, all of these economies are crumbling. While Dubai, Doha, all of these economies are growing, and everyone's going there. You've gone from, you know, Muslims and, like we spoke about earlier, in certain cultures, to just everybody holiday in there, and like being able to live 5-star experiences that you don't get any other parts of the world. Also, that being said, I think we've easily missed that. To me, this World Cup was one of the best World Cups I remember in living memory. Like the level of like 5-star that was delivered for football to be seen. I ain't never seen anything like that in the history of football. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember like the World Cup in Russia, that was just like a Euros or something. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like nothing like this World Cup. They took it to another level, to the point that we're out here saying we need a new stadium, Old Trafford. These lot built stadiums that you can take apart and they're going to ship to other parts of the world, like in Africa and that, and rebuild again. They built mad 5-star stadiums that you can actually break down and then rebuild elsewhere. Like they could all ship a new stadium to Old Trafford. They most probably got a couple spare, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're dealing, I think it's easy to underestimate because we've had the news for so long, the level of buyer that we're dealing with the Qataris. You know what I'm saying? I think it's easy to underestimate who we're really dealing with. And I feel like these men here have every right to be like, listen, we do deals worth, 100 billion, and you're playing about with 6 billion. Are you taking it or are you not? And we're going to keep it moving. Like I said, there are massive clubs in the country that have a rich history, like example, Everton, who have just, their new stadium's going to be ready in about 18 months or less than that. They're the only rivalry they have in that city is Liverpool. It's like buying Man City and doing to Liverpool what City done to United.
Yeah,
and taking over Liverpool. Like they can do that, and they have a rich history. I just feel like with the World Cup and then putting on the World Cup and putting on such a big spectacle, they just wanted to be announced in the football world by owning, as far as they're concerned, one of the greatest clubs to ever exist in Man United. And that's why they're prepared to pay that premium for that. But are you saying that they can't go and buy an Everton or a West Ham that's got a massive stadium? They can do that.
Yeah, they can.
They're going to let the Glazers know. Don't mug us off. Don't think like you have something we can't do. We understand the status of the club that you've mugged off since you've bought it. We understand it, and we understand what we can do with this. And like I said, when we're talking about, Man United as a football club needing to go away on pre-season and, doing those little mid-season breaks and having the best level of facility to train with experts, Doha has that. Qatar has that. You know what I'm trying to say? And I just feel like what this can do for us is forget about like the transfer window. Like this is the biggest signing. If we get these guys, because it's been going on for so long, we've kind of underestimated that. We're not going to have these Man City supporters are not having a transfer window of, oh, let's buy this guy, let's buy. Them man, relax. They just know that serious people are coming through the door because they have serious people in serious positions. We're out here running around, and we never used to have to do that in the days of Alex Ferguson. But now we're here like mid-level clubs, like mid-league clubs. Like we're sitting there getting gap of signings. Like what's going on here? But this is what this level of ownership has brought us to. So for me, I feel like these men are dead serious. And to finish off with, the type of money that's been put up, as much as Ineos and that look like their favourites, it only takes a few things or a few phone calls into the Glazers to say, listen, from the other siblings, like, take this deal. Like, I don't think it takes much. Yeah, I don't think it takes much to push this over. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like now, as much as the Glazers were putting the people under pressure, when someone tells you, I'm about to give you twice what your house is worth, only because I own the other 2 houses on the road and I'm trying to build a big house. But if you're not on it, I'm going to bounce and sell my other 2 houses and move to a whole new other area. It becomes squeaky bum time. Now you're thinking, hold on, like, what's going on here? So I think it's good that they're doing this, because now they put the onus on the Glazers, like, are you taking it or not? And then if they don't take it, then the fan base is like, we've only got one buyer now. So what's going on? Make it happen. Either way, pressure's on.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up to Nedu, says, big up the panel. Much love, guys. Big up to you, Nedu. Question for the panel. You have 100 million for any 2 midfielders of your choice, considering Fed and Sabitzer have to leave.
Ooh.
Listen, we'll discuss that. Let's leave this question to the end, because I want to still concentrate on the Glazers. And by the way, they're taking a piss now. They're doing drilling work at this time. Are you taking a piss? That's why I've had to go back.
I can't lie. You know what, Saeed? We can't even hear it.
You can't even hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Say no
You
more
got,
then.
you got the top spec mic. You get me?
Yeah, okay. Apologies, you can hear anything. I've just had a go at them now, man. Because, bro, what are you doing work at 5:30 in the evening? Bro, you've had all day to do something. Why come at this time?
It's the Glazers, man. They can hear you.
Yeah,
G.
man. It's ridiculous, man. But anyway, Tyrone, what are you telling me, man? How you taking all this news? Are you pissed off?
What are we doing here, my love?
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm really happy I've seen this news today from Qatar, from the Sheikhs, because if I'm totally honest with you, yeah, we've seen back and forth. We've been speaking about it for about 2 months now. We know that the Glazers are trying to get every penny as possible, and also I feel like I don't trust the Glazers. I'll be real with you. None of us trust them anyway, but this is sort of like showing me that I don't even trust them even more, because for me, if it's a business, right, and someone is clearly offering far more than Sir Jim Ratcliffe, even if it's $1 billion, 1.5 billion more, or whatever it is, that's still a lot of money in terms of, you know, a business bid. So for me, the fact that the Sheikhs have come in and said, right, 6.5 billion plus $1 billion on top, they are serious, like Musa said. But also, I kind of feel like it's actually testing the Glazers now to say, right, do you want to sell to people that are actually saying we're going to wipe the debt, we're going to come in at 100%, and we're also going to do infrastructure, this, that's an extra 1 billion on top. That's not even part of the bid. That's the best bid you could obviously get. There's nothing more that I think anyone out of the world could come in with apart from offering 10 million or something silly and say, realistically, like the Sheikhs have done, this is what we're looking to do. They are looking to do everything that we want as fans. They are looking to do everything that we've wanted from the owners. So what's the silliness here? The only reason for me is that if the Glazers get it, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Glazers have taken a little backhander if Jim Ratcliffe gets it. I just think that somehow they're still going to be involved. There's still going to be a way that they're going to be making money out of the club. Otherwise, there's no brainer but to sell to the Sheikhs. I just don't think, for me, it needs a long explanation. I love the bid they've made today. I like the fact that they said, right, we're going to walk away if not, because what more can they do? And that's what I look at it. When I'm sitting there seeing the back and forth and stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? They've come in with 6.5 billion, 1 billion on top. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. What more could we sit and expect them to do? Like, there's nothing more we'd want. The Glazers were wanting 6.5 billion when it started the war. They were getting 4 billions and people were moaning saying, no, they want 6 billion. You've got 6.5 now with an extra billion on top. Like, it's a no-brainer for me. If the club don't accept this offer, and we do go with the Jim Ratcliffe option, for me, the Glazers were never serious about this football club. The Glazers don't care about the fans. And ultimately, I think, like Musa said perfectly, Doha, these places like that are up and coming in the world. People are going there now. People are doing like real estate and stuff like that. Imagine in 5, 10, 15 years, these places are going to elevate even more. So this is the perfect time to allow the club to come in, let them have the club, take it to the next level. If not, I'm worried, man, about us falling behind. I'm not excited by a Jim Ratcliffe takeover at all. There's nothing that they've done in this bid that has inspired me. I've watched their bids and I've seen the little asterisks that, like, we're still going to be in debt. We're still going to be I've not read anything and thought, do you know what? Yeah, I'm cool if they get it. There's nothing positive about it. Everything with the Sheikhs, I'm thinking, is positive. So for me, at the end of the day, if you're a real football club and you're real owners, you'll accept the Sheikhs. If you don't, it tells us everything we need to know about the way this football club is going, man.
Yeah, Deji, do you have your doubts? Are you worried? Because at the end of the day, like I said, you look at the depth and you're looking at what's going on in terms of investment, he's not going to be able to sort this out, man. And he ain't got the facilities like that. Let's be honest. He's coming in and basically blagged his way in. You know, when certain man blagged their way into a club or something, or into a little motive, are you thinking, how did you get here? That's Jim Ratcliffe, you know. He's blagged this way into his motive. And now, when he gets there, he ain't, like, you can tell he's an outsider, you feel me?
Look, for me, yeah, to answer your question specifically, I'm worried, but not for the reasons of will they accept it or not. I've got to look at how I believe the Glazers think and what's important to the Glazers and what has been important to the Glazers all this time. And it's just been money, yeah? So although Sheikh just seems come in with proposals to wipe the debt, yeah, to work on the infrastructure, fund both the male and the female football teams, upgrade stuff. None of that actually appeals to the Glazers anyway, because they don't give a crap about that stuff. Because if they did, they'd be like, oh, I want the best for Man United. They've never wanted the best for Man United. We know that, yeah? So you can argue with yourself if you want to on that one. So those kind of things coming through, if I'm a Glazer, Like, because think about it, as fans, we love to hear those things, but as a Glazer, that don't matter, bro. They just want P. So when I'm seeing that 7.4 billion, if it's fact, by the way, if that is the mark or there and thereabouts, whether it's 7 or whatever, yeah, then that's the only thing for me that I can say they'll take that seriously, because all they want is money. That's all they've wanted. It's what they use United for. So none of this infrastructure stuff actually matters. So it matters to me as a fan, matters to you guys, and it should matter to every Man United fan out there, and the club and Ten Hag, everyone else should do, right? Because we want to put football first. But we're not dealing with people who put football first. So it's literally down to money. The only reason I can see Sir Jim having his little part in all of this, yeah, is because he's going to allow them to stay on, right? He's going to allow them to stay in and around the club.
They're still going to be making.
And so,
money.
correct, yeah. So
Why would you want that? Why would you want that?
To make
fan,
some?
Why would you want?
No, I'm not saying that he wants that. But think about it. If you're a business owner, yeah, sometimes you have to play wicked to go and get your result. That's standard. Them man in business, they don't have many morals. To the point where a man will say, "I'm a United fan," but still keep the Glazers in. Yeah, this, like it or not, ruthless businessmen who have certain P have that mentality. Yeah, they don't care. If they want to win something, they're going to go for it. And if they have to stretch, and by the way, I think it is a stretch. If they have to stretch to that far, that they're willing to keep the Glazers in, right? To the point where when Sir Jim takes over, if he took over, the fans are going to have a mad backlash on him. I don't think he'll handle that heat. And I don't think the Glazers are naive enough to say, you know what? I can't guarantee just because you're going to be in the charge and we're still here that you're going to make as much money. So technically, what's the point in us being here anyway, if they're already looking to sell? So that's one positive for me that I look at. The second part of it is because Sir Jim is looking to, as I said, offer so much and doesn't really have a lot of money, yeah? If the Glazers are tired, right, and they're fed up with the whole situation, surely they'd want that quick transaction, which was quoted by, I think, Sky and a couple of other reporters, that it would be a quick transaction of money. So I'm thinking money if I'm a Glazer. And for me, if they're going over to 7-odd billion and they're not messing around, they've put an extra bid in that's come out of nowhere, right? I'm thinking they've said, look, we'll sell it to you, but we want the money. And the Sheiks are just going, you know what? Take the P. Well, fast transaction, give us the Ross Clark Club because we ain't messing around. And I think that's the middle line somewhere. So for me, I ain't worried. I was worried before this news came out. But having digested it and stuff, for me, I think that's happening. I think Sir Jim is just literally being a little, I'll try to be respectful. I think he's just being a little grease ball. I think he's a bit of a grease bag and just trying to worm it in. He's one of the Mandem that ends up going and trying to move to the ex of your man.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Your brother, he's one of them.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, used to be. He's the type of guy, you move in your yard, yeah, with your lady, you've been with her for time. Yeah, we got our own yard. You invite him round, yeah. On the sly, he's brought gifts, but he's brought her like diamond ring to say, yeah, you know, like congratulations on your house. He only brought you a pack of beers or pack of Stella. Yeah, I don't drink, by the way, but something like that. And you're thinking, wait, what's he doing? Why is he? That's Sir Jim Ratcliffe, yeah. And then 2-2, she's looking at the ring, going, yo, this is nice, you know. The man ends up dipping. They fall out after about 4 or 5 months. Who moves in the yard? My man who bought the ring. That's Sir Jim Ratcliffe, yeah? So for me, I don't want that guy anywhere near the club, if I'm being honest. And I think he's spent, man. He's trying everything he needs to do. That's what he's meant to do. But I just don't think he can outmuscle. And I think he's going to come down from what Musa said, down to money, man. It is what it is. It's P. It's
yeah, absolutely. P, man. Big up to Nedu says, I don't know how it's done in the UK, but here in Canada, you can't carry debt onto another business unless it's privately funded. Jim is too broke to fund the debt. The problem is, though, he said he's going to get a loan to cover the debt. And this is the problem, though. We still have a debt. Did you not understand that? Like, this Jim Ratcliffe, like, bro, you're still going to have that debt on you, you know? Like, you can run away all you want from it. You could do whatever. But at the end of the day, mate, that's going to still run with you. So, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Little twist to the question that was from before. We'll answer that one later on. How's this sale in Jim and Ineos's favor? SMH. Well, there you go.
Fair, I think it's what Neji just said. It's like keeping the Glazers in. That's why, because obviously they'll still make money. That's probably the only way Jim gets it. That's it.
But you don't make money off football clubs. I just don't get it.
Yeah, but who knows what goes on off the record, off the books? Should we call it, Musa?
Yeah, because when you look at any of the football clubs in the world, like the best ones in the world that are run and whatever, How much money are they turning over? They're not making like they're not making billions of pounds, bro.
So Musa, the situation here, which is one of the biggest things that people are vexed at, is because the Glazers are the only owners out of all top clubs that actually take dividends every year.
That's it.
That's literally it. So they cash cow the club, and they take percentages, whether it's off deals, whether it's off signings, whether it's off wages, commercial revenue. That's their pocket. That's their bread and butter. And think about it, yeah. If you have a club, right, that only makes top 4, yeah, your outspend is less than what you want. So whatever your budget is, your budget gets less every year, right? And there's a correlation between every time we've made the Champions League, the season after, right, they spent less, almost half of what they did the season before to get there, right? So when it comes down to it, they're trying to get as many profits as they can and suck as much money as they can and put as little in themselves. And by the way, I don't mean saying I'm not trying to say like they're not trying to put money in themselves, because they haven't put a penny in Manchester United. They're using the club's finances that's already been built based on what we've built, because again we were a self-sufficient club where we could run on our own, yeah, based off our own commercial aspects and everything else. So what they've done, not put a penny in themselves. So already they're using us to take dividends every year, and then they take percentages out of everything else as well. So technically they're just thinking this is free money for us. So they're milking the club for what it's built on, its history and everything else, without putting a single penny in themselves. As in 0 pence. No owner that I know at a top club hasn't put at least 50 to 100 million every season. I don't know one. So these men are literally just taking and then making us lose out on funds. So when they're taking dividends, that normally will go on transfers or wages or on work on the structure of the stadium or something like that. And this is what we're saying. They're cracking everything down, or have been, yeah, and taking until we run dry. All the commercial signings, when we're getting gassed over Pogba, Ronaldo, perfect. But why they're stupid, because that can't last forever, because football don't work that way. It's not an American sport, yeah? There is relegation. There is situations. There are fans that are passionate. We are a workman's football club. So when you deal with them type of people, yeah, and you start to take the piss, excuse my language at this time, when you start to take the mick, yeah, at this time, there's going to be backlash. So when you start clocking onto their games and stuff,
but what's mad?
Go on.
What's mad? People that act like this are normally sellers. They're sellers. Yeah, they're not investors. They're not long term. Like people that act like this are normally sellers. So I'm thinking, have they used Ineos as a proper tool to get as much as they? Well, that time will tell. Time will tell if they've used mine. Because people that act like this are sellers. Once they get that money, they're off.
Yeah, exactly. Big up HK Music. He says, think the Glazers just want the highest bid possible from Qatar. The Glazers aren't going to risk the club increasing in value by letting Sir Jim in charge. They're using him to get the highest bid possible. You know what? Do you see it like that, Rhino? You know what I mean? Is it the end game? You know what I mean? Is this Avengers like the end game? Like we go to the end and then boom. You know what I mean? We find out they gave the highest bid, you know what I mean, whoever it was. Like, is it, or are we not thinking like businessmen as, you know what? He's put the highest amount of value towards a football club, said Jim, whereas he's put the biggest bid. So where are you kind of looking at it?
That's gone, Saeed, now with this new bid.
Do you know what
I'm
it
just
is,
saying, like in terms of the value, I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, like even the value's gone now. Remember, he valued it at 6 billion. This new bid has taken the Jim Ratcliffe's value away.
But the thing is, though, it allows the Glaze to stay, though. The new offer allows the Glaze to stay, and that's where it comes down to. Big up to Chris Spreezy. But yeah, Ryan, what were you saying about that? What
this
think,
whole
bro?
thing's just been stressing me out, man. Like, this club's just been giving me stress, bro, raising my blood pressure and that. I just don't know.
Every minute, like a married man still, I can't lie.
Every minute, yeah, there's something happening where and then you know what, the whole transfer season is just rumors and links, and I'm just tired. I'm tired, bro. I just want the Qataris, Sheikh Hassim to just put his money in, take this club into a better place. Like rival fans keep talking about, oh, you guys spent $1 billion, you guys did this, you guys did that. We've been run to the ground. We've been overspending on players. We haven't invested into our infrastructure, our training grounds, the women's team. There's so many, our scouting system, everything's been run to the ground. It's like, bro, they just need to go. They need to go,
Bro,
man.
you're right.
And I don't know, man. It's mad. 7.4 mil. How accurate is how factual is that? Do we know?
I think that
I know it's
business
in
thing-
dollars. That's the only thing. I don't know what it
That's
works
dollars,
out to
isn't
in
it? Dollars. So it does equate. Let me try and find
Yeah.
out 7.4.
They can't say no to that.
I
That's
think-
crazy.
Yeah, in dollars, they've matched Sir Jim Radcliffe and another $500 million on top.
That's crazy, bro. Crazy.
So they've just
So it's
blown
6.2
it out of the
billion.
water.
6.2 billion. How on earth would any club not, or any owner not take? It's the biggest franchise in the world. Like that money there is the biggest money you'll ever see for any sports franchise, any sports, whatever you want to call it, bro. That is madness, man.
I think
Big up
Neji hit something though. I think Neji hit something there. Go on, say that.
Yeah, big up to HK Music. As a business, you got to try and get the best offer possible. In business, you get what you negotiate, not what you deserve. And that's exactly what the Glazer are doing. Qatar will be the owners eventually. Bro, talk to me more again. Like, I want to speak that to existence. You know what I mean? I hope it's
That's
true.
it, man.
You know
That's
what?
what I'm
I think
saying.
Neji had something on there for you.
Sorry?
I think he had something. I think when he said that, you know, they've been told a price that Ineos was ready to pay, and they were like, if you pay this, you can have the club. Because I think we're only hearing one side of the conversation. When we know that they've had meetings and they've had phone calls, but we don't know that side of the conversation. We're only hearing what's come back from it, where it's okay, there's the money, we're giving you to Friday. So I'm thinking that other side of the conversation can look like we've been speaking to Jim Radcliffe on that. This is what they're saying, it's 6 billion. If you lot match that and pay it outright, you can have it. But we haven't heard that side of the conversation. We're only seeing this, okay,
Yeah, we've only
6.2.
seen because of the NDA.
Yeah.
I wish he exposes them all and says, yo, them man are crooks. The way they've been dealing with me, like the way they've been dealing with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, them man are crooks, innit? Like they've always favored, they've always wanted his side.
Don't you think though? Like the maddest thing is that how long this is dragged on. The fact that if it's the reports are true that it's saying right, the Qataris have made the bid, you've got until Friday. Bro, boys, when you actually think about it, come Saturday, we are gonna know where this club is going. So we could talk about it now, obviously, which is a Wednesday. But you know, we're thinking, oh, there's another bid or this and that's gonna happen. No, they've laid down their money on the table and said, yo, by Friday, 11:59 p.m., if you've not accepted it or you said, right, we're gonna sit down at the table and look at next negotiations, we will know that this club is going to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So it's actually exciting that I feel like we don't have to wait too much longer because like people are saying in the comments, you know, I'm bored, like it's dragging out. But the fact that they've given them a verbatim and said Friday or nothing, we're gonna know by Saturday. And that for me is why I probably feel a bit more like at peace because I'm like, they've got a deadline now. It's none of this, you're dictating the table. Qataris said, right, we're gonna dictate the table.
Whether you take it or leave it. Do you reckon they should have done that at the start? I know they wanted it.
No, I don't mind that. I don't mind that because it's what it's.
There was another report though that's saying that they're basically saying after Friday they will not up this bid again. They don't care what it is.
Take it or leave it, bro.
But
But
there might still be an opportunity for these lot to come to them and like I don't know, in a month later and say like, cool, we'll take that. They can say whatever happens.
Wasn't the last one take it or leave it?
It's called a final open bid. So
yeah, now this is a final one. Like, there's no more phone
bid, but
calls.
it's open. It's always on the table until.
It's always on the it's always on the table. There's no more phone calls. It's not gonna go up to like 6.4. It's 6.2.
So you make, you know, the bid is still there, isn't it? The bid is still on the table. You get me? So it's like one of them where you can let it live on the table for a little bit while you make another decision, or do you take Jim Ratcliffe's situation and you let him run it? But again, he has to then kind of fulfill it. There ain't no deadline.
But the thing is, if they do that,
Jim just needs to go run off, man.
If you do that and wait, though, the bottom line is that even if they said Friday and we don't hear nothing, that's the max bid we're putting in. Even if they don't get an answer by Saturday and we're sitting here in a week's time from now, I say talking to Mandem talk, the bottom line is they're not going to be waiting around much longer because the bottom line is, again, like I said, the final bid has been made. And if we're here next Wednesday and the decision hasn't been done, it's like, right, what are they waiting for? Are you basically waiting for Jim Ratcliffe to make another bid that's going to basically beat their bid? Otherwise, you just accept that bid. You can't wait 2 weeks and give Jim Ratcliffe extra time. So for me, even if it's not Saturday, it's going to be resolved within a week. You can't just let that sit.
You know what Jim Ratcliffe is doing? He's bought the house and he's told my man, you can have the king-size bedroom. I'm having the single room. Yeah, that's what he's done right now. But what he's going to go back and do he's going to say, you know what, forget the single room, I'm sleeping in the garage. But you know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping in the garage. You can have the whole house. I just want part of it. I'm in the garage. This is what he's doing to the Glazers. So he might not up the money, but he might give up even more of the club back to them to just be a part of it.
But again, that can't take a long time. After Friday, this has got to be wrapped up within a week. We can't sit here and keep waiting and delaying. The Glazers can't keep waiting and delaying and making excuses.
Manager wants to sign this, man. You hear
Yeah,
that, man?
Think about it as well, yeah. There's a key part.
Fam.
Sorry, go on, Rhino.
No, I was just saying, what does this Ratcliffe guy want? Like, I start.
He wants Man United, bro.
You know what's mad, man?
He's
You
couch
know what's mad,
surfing.
though?
Couch surfing.
You know what's
bro.
mad? When we were in the thick of it with the Glazers and Radcliffe first came in, we were gassing it.
We were gassed. We were
Ironic,
relieved.
bro.
That was gas. That's like when you first see your crush and you're on it, and then later on down the line, when you're up, you're like, nah, you're dead. I'm not feeling you again. I'm up now.
Yeah,
Get
you're right.
me?
You always got to level up in it. You always like when you see
New
something.
thing gives
like,
me to the eyes at the bus stop. He's like,
You
yo.
too.
yeah, man. You know what I mean? That's why it's called levels, innit? That's why you have, you know what I mean? There's
Levels.
different beauty.
True,
There's
man.
different levels of beauty, innit? That it's still beautiful, but you want more beautiful, innit? You want, you know what I mean? Like
There's levels,
that's the way
yeah.
it is, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think ultimately it comes down to now kind of getting this sorted because we need signings, man. I'm hearing Ten Hag is restless. Harry Kane's going to Real Madrid. You heard it first now. Harry Kane will end up at Real Madrid. Ain't no way.
Oh, what?
Harry
You reckon, yeah?
I reckon that's happening, man. Bellingham is gone, and now they're gonna add another one in Harry Kane, and then it's gonna be a little England duo up front, man. I'm telling you. I said it yesterday with Haj. Yeah, big up to Haj. I said, yeah, it's a travesty that Man United don't get Kane when you're looking at he's just been there available and he's just been there ready. Like, how have you not got him? But then you're gonna go and get and not a guaranteed goals in Højlund and Colin Wani. You don't know. They could be great, but you know they're not certified like a gunman.
Bro,
like,
but if an owner say no, we're not selling to a rival, what can you do? You can slap 150 down. You say no, we say no.
And the thing
Yeah,
is,
because
leave
for me-
it into good leave it.
It's also how you move, though, innit? If you make an early bid, you make an early bid, innit? You make a little something, though, innit? Make something.
Hey,
Kane,
Kane was
you
done-
know what? But you know what's like the bottom line is as well with Kane. If he really wanted it, he would hand in a transfer request himself. He hasn't done that.
Bro, he's talking
Yeah.
about NFL, bro, saying he wants to try line kicking. I'm thinking, bro, you got a big transfer move over your head. Bare speculation. You talking about being a line kicker or in the NFL.
Nah.
He's not serious, man.
I'm not up on. Yeah, I would love Kane at United, but I'm not on this that if he doesn't come, it's the end of the world thing because I just don't think he wins us the title. I think if there was any club that Kane could have went to and won and got them straight to compete, it was the Liverpool before last season that was competing on all four. You slap him in that team and it's game set match.
Yeah,
but I feel like other than that, we can like Man United can get Kane and still finish third next season and have a good season, but we finish third. So it's like, where's it all about? So I'm not really too fussed that we got two players, you know, in Mount and Kane that both have less than 12 months left on their contract. The one with Mount, really, I don't get it because he can just do the year and still be 25 next year and choose any club that he wants and go on a free. So I don't get the rush to get a player like Mount for 70, 60 million when McAllister and them man are going for like 45 M's and 40. Just none of that makes sense to me. And Harry Kane, for me, again, I just feel like 29, 30, what's the difference? You get Harry Kane at 30 years old. He's a free transfer. You give him some good money. You ain't got to argue with Levy. You ain't got to get on a hype. Like, and that's why even if Harry Kane don't go this season to anyone, he still might not end up at United. He might just go to Real Madrid next season. They might just get a young prospect, put him up front, do their thing as they do. And next season, he just signs on a free and he goes to Madrid. So I just feel like Harry Kane is best a free signing. Like, you've done all of those contracts to get to your last year to kick up a fuss. It don't make sense. Just do the year and then go to whoever you want to. That's all.
Mandem, yeah. Listen, yeah. I was chatting to my boy Jake yesterday, and there's one kind of like spanner in the works that I didn't really think of. You know, this I was researching this homegrown rule, yeah. Apparently you need at least 7 or 8 English players per squad of 25. So now I think that's kind of making sense why I think Ten Hag wants Mount. because if you look at our squad, I was looking for our squad. A lot of our English players are leaving, and we're gonna have basic. I think like 5 or 4 left.
Yeah, my boy.
So
said
I think
exactly the same thing right now.
maybe that's why he's trying to push it.
Yeah,
because think about it, we
so
said
what
he can
you're
get
saying
20
is-
other mounts, but he needs an English mount because we need to follow the
So what you're
homegrown.
saying is he needs quality, but he needs English quality, so he's looking.
That's
at
what I'm
what's available.
thinking now. I'm starting to think that.
that's why
That's
last
what-
week
what-
I think voice started
But
Rhino.
15 million less than Jude
Remember
Bellingham.
the Declan Rice and Mount thing come out together, and I said to Rhino, I think I even sent him a voice note, and I was like, makes sense, obviously, with the English quota, 2 English players. Maybe we might not go and get them, but I said the principle of us being linked to 2 players like that kind of shows you the framework.
Makes sense. Yeah. It's an angle. It's an honest angle you have to consider.
Because
You can't-
McTominay,
That's
what
why
he's
he's
going to do?
by
McTominay,
forcing
Maguire.
it.
I don't.
Yeah, McTominay is going to go.
because of the academy. Maguire's going to
McTominay,
go.
Phil Jones.
But
Phil
players
Jones.
like Garnacho and that
Harry
count as
Kane.
homegrown. Like there's ways to get through it. Like a lot of our youngsters
it?
do count as
Yeah, the
homegrown.
academy can come up through.
Okay,
but
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't
we want to
know.
get to
I
the
think
quality.
you know
we're
what it
at.
is. I
If
think
we
they
wanna
have
get
to
the
be
quality,
English though, because
Mm.
yeah, I think they have to be English,
Let me see.
or if they're part of the academy, they have to be with the academy for so long.
So
Yeah.
long.
And
I
I
think
know
we've got
we got
some.
Garnacho from Madrid in it, but I don't know how long he's been there.
But I think he
years?
passes. I think I read something that he passes.
He passes.
But
It
that's
is,
what I
yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
do.
okay,
I don't
so-
want to. I don't want to be in a position where United the next season we're trying to catch up with these cities and Arsenals and stuff, and we're filling up the 25 squad with players like, no disrespect to them, of course, but the Charlie McNeils
But
just
why
to
not,
make up
though?
the numbers. I don't want.
Why
that.
not though? Because I think to myself, once you've got a
But they're not
squad
good
of
enough.
20,
I
once
don't
you've
think
got a
they're good
squad
enough,
of
Lucy,
20.
yet. They're not good enough yet.
No, but my thing is, when you look at teams like City and that, once you've got a squad of like 17, 18 players that play, then the rest are like, who's the rest really?
Kobe Mino's English, Iqbal's obviously Iraqi and whatnot.
Because once we've got a squad of say of like 18 men who play, like who's the rest then?
Let me just
Then I'm
read this.
saying-
Here. Dan Watson says, clear to see the agenda on the media in the country. United ruins their childhood. It's clear to see they don't want United success under Qatari, man. Bro, listen, there's a lot of you know what I mean, xenophobia in this country in terms of the media and whatnot. You've seen it from the reports in it, so it don't surprise me in that sense of trying to push the Jim Ratcliffe route because he's not, you know, seen as someone who is, you know what I mean, is hidden. You know what I mean? Like with Jassim, he'll move in a way he wants to move, where he won't give the media. He'll probably sack all the media. He'll probably ban all these media coming into the stadium, man. You don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
So
look at Man City and Newcastle owners. We hardly hear anything about them. They just crack
there you
on.
go. That's what I'm saying. So that's why Laurie Whitwell, I think he mentioned him being very, very discreet. And I was like, you don't really need to mention that. That's just how a business, like any guy who moves quietly, like that just shows you that they're going on with the world. It matters. It's not the stuff that
I
they're
want
hiding.
someone that moves quietly.
But they're
Yeah,
haters, man.
Quietly, man. You don't want
We
someone
see that with City and Newcastle, though, and they don't say anything about that. Why are they going on like it's strange? Like it's something that we haven't seen. These men are haters. They went to the World Cup and they went to Putin's office, all the BBC, and they were shaking hands and smiling. This man's gone and invaded a country, bro, in 2022, bro. Like this man's taken over countries and invading. And when the World Cup was on, the BBC were all blowing smoke up his backside. And then when the Qatar World Cup was on, man, that's not invaded anything. You saw how they're going on. So, like you said, we can see how the media move. We can see it.
You can see it, man. 100%, man. Let's go back to this question here. Big up the panel, Butch Love. You have 100 million for any 2 midfielders of your choice, considering Fred and Sabitzer leave. By the way, we don't know if Sabitzer's leaving. You know, he might stay because apparently we're looking at Tyrone, we'll start with you. 100 million.
Yeah, I did want you to start on me because you know what? Big up Nadu, by the way. That's a
Never
great
big up,
question. You know, that is a very good question. Anyone in the world, you know. I would love a De Jong or Tonali in the deep role, in the deeper role. I think Tonali's like kind of gone underrated how good he is because Milan haven't been as great. Tonali or De Jong, and I'll need someone in sort of like that box to box role. We've got Bruno for creativity. Ahmad can come in. I might go with legs. I might go with like a Barella, you know.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, De Jong,
Barella's good,
Tonali,
man.
and maybe Barella off the top of my head. You know what? It's hard though. Or Casado, but obviously in an energetic role. But I'll go Barella, and then I'd go with
You know where
Tonali.
Enzo Lafite? I don't know if
he's
you
going
watched
to
Enzo
Rennes.
Lafite.
He's going to Rennes.
He's going to Rennes. Guess how much he's going for? 23 million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do you know
man.
what? That's the right move because I'm gonna call it for what it is. No one was speaking about him until I see a couple clips of him on Twitter, and he was linked to a few clubs. The bottom line is he was playing, obviously for Lorient. Go to Rennes and prove yourself in Europe because obviously they're in Europe again, and you're still young, and then make that next step up. People at United were saying, bid for him. I get it. I'm not saying he's a bad player, by the way, but like they just jump on things straight away. You haven't watched Lorient for 90 minutes. Don't tell me you have people. I love my football. I haven't watched him for 90 minutes, even though I can gauge from a compilation.
I've
So
watched
good luck
bits
to
and
him.
bobs. Yeah. I watched the game where he played against PSG, and bro, the guy bossed the whole game. I know PSG had 10 men. Hakimi got sent off, but he was unbelievable that day, man. He's very, very versatile. Similar to Gabriel Viego. He could play in the 8, he could play in the 10.
Gabby, he scored against Barcelona on the weekend, actually.
On the weekend, For me, it's Caicedo. Like, Caicedo should be one.
It's Caicedo and who, though? That's what I'm saying.
For me,
Caicedo, he said you could pick 2.
Okay, Caicedo. You know what? Madison. I'm calling it now.
Madison.
I've always been a big admirer of Madison. And Leicester City can't really ask for a lot, They're on the
I like Madison, That's a good shout. People would probably laugh and say Madison, but like, honestly, Saeed, I respect it.
Madison for me. And
for me, I get Casado and Joao Felix. No funny business.
What, 400 mil?
That one,
Joao Felix is up for another season-long loan. And then we buy him next season.
He's a midfielder, though. He's a midfielder.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, you see me, Mandem, I don't know what you lot think here. Like, when we bought Bruno Fernandes, he was a number 8. He didn't play in a 10. And every time I've seen him play in an 8, the guy plays and does well and plays ball. Because for me, Bruno arrives late in the box and scores goals, and he can also put a nice ball through, and he can play it simple when he has to. When I look at Mason Mount, what does Mason Mount do that Bruno doesn't? He's just a poor version of Bruno. And what I've seen is that Eric Ten Hag is going to bring Bruno back to play next to Casemiro and push Mason up front. So he'll play the more advanced role. So I'm thinking, what are you doing? So this is some of the analytics that I've seen from people putting forward. But I just think to myself, I know Bruno's got lungs on him. I know he's got an engine on him. He's our number 8. He wears it.
No, there's a deeper question behind this here, and people are not gonna like it. Yeah, big up the ticket. What about Koku? Yeah, I think
he's going to Rennes with Lafille potentially. By the way, the ticket.
Yeah. This one here, HK Music, Casemiro, Caicedo, and Felix. Let me ask you a question. Yeah.
Wait. I didn't give you mine. Quick time. No one mentioned.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, my bad.
Vexes me. How is no one talking about Joshua Kimmich? Why is no one talking about this brother, bro? This guy is elite. Yeah. And you know when man were banging on about flipping, what's his name, Basmati Rice, yeah, from flipping West Ham. When they're talking about Basmati Rice, but with no salt, no pepper, no coconut milk, none of that, yeah. About 140 million, 130 million. I was saying that said Kimmich is your blueprint for that price 2 seasons ago. The guy's literally looking to leave Bayern at the moment as it stands based on reports. We should be going for someone like that. He's a world winner. The dominant in midfield. Him and Casemiro together would be absolutely elite.
Is he unrealistic though? Like, there's a question here.
For the money that people are talking about spending, I've got no doubt that you could go and spend at least 80, 90 million on Kimmich based on the fact he wants to leave and then give him someone as well. Kimmich overrated. In what life, man?
I know, man. That's a wild comment. Levin, have a word with yourself, man.
What is that?
I don't know. Have a word in that pond over there, man. You know what I mean? Big up to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what? It's a question here, yeah? I'm going to be really honest with you. Have we got players?
That was rude, man. That was rude.
Have we got players in our squad that are not hindering our style, but if we want to become the next, like,
sorry, just let it bang, let it bang.
Yeah, let us land, man. The laugh had to come.
Bro, I had to laugh and say the way you just dropped that so naturally. Just said, yeah, man, next time
have a word with that pond.
You know, I can hear the pond sound like
the. I'm going swimming with the fishes. Man said, "Go swimming with the fishes."
Yo, must go catch a goldfish and take it home.
It's crazy. But you see Bruno Fernandes, yeah. I think for me, he's a good player in terms of what he wants and whatnot. But you think that position there, like there should be someone better, but we're not going to use it. So we're now going to have Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and then obviously it's going to be Mason Mount. I think that Bruno Fernandes position, he's going to take over. That's the Madison one. it's someone of that ilk where we're gonna have
Yeah,
to.
but my thing is, see the number 8s we're being linked with, Saeed. None of them can do it better than Bruno. Tell me the 8 that we've been
true.
linked with that can play 8 better than Bruno.
And then,
You don't think Jim Madison can do a lot as well?
He can do 10. Maybe he can do 10 better than. But I'm talking about the 8 role of Mason Mount, all of the Rabiot.
Let me ask you a question deep down, Musa. When I've watched him, I think we've hit a ceiling with Bruno Fernandes. I like him. Don't get me wrong. I think we've hit a ceiling with
See, when Casemiro was out, and he even went into the 6, the guy played ball. Bruno has an engine on him, and he can do a job. Having someone like Casemiro, having someone like Casemiro next to him, and like masking up a lot of his losing the ball and all of that stuff. The problem is with me with Bruno is that as much as he creates as a number 10, and I think I like Bruno as a footballer. I just feel like his energy and what he does, he can arrive late like Gundogan and score goals. You see, like the way
Gundogan though. Look at Gundogan, big.
No, but he can do that. He can do what he can.
I feel like technically the way Gundogan and that he can control games. I think Gundogan's like
Bruno can do it, guys. In a number 8,
what we need is a number 8.
He can do it, guys. I'm telling you, Bruno can do it.
Musa, for me, we're missing the first phase midfielder. I don't care about number 10s right now. I want someone that can get on the ball and we can control games.
Yeah, turn and run, man.
Technical security. We don't have that. And I'm sorry, that's the thing. That's what I'll be looking at. I won't be looking at number 10s. I want first phase.
No, but this is why we said, you see, Caicedo, he can do a lot. He's not just this number 6 that people make out. I've seen this guy play right back for them, right wing. I've seen him boss the middle of the park.
About Bruno. Now you talk about Caicedo.
No, but we said if we can buy 2 players, I would get Caicedo in because I know he's there. So it's either if Casemiro's playing games, we're gonna have him and Bruno in there. You know what I'm saying? Or Casemiro and Bruno. But the number 10 for me is where I need a man who is silky, like João Felix, that can also score goals. That's why I put João Felix in the number 10 behind a shooter. Like
Bruno Fernandes, João Felix and Casemiro. There's no balance in there.
Of course, there's a balance. Go and tell that to Pep. Go and tell that to Pep when he's got David.
Who's receiving the ball?
But tell that to Pep. Tell that to Pep.
We got Ten Hag though.
No, but I'm just saying is when it comes to us, we say there's no balance. When it's Brighton, they find balance with players like that in the middle of the park.
Manager who creates the balance.
So we're saying that we can play Casemiro and Eriksen and Bruno. Eriksen, but we can't play Casemiro, Bruno, and Felix. Eriksen, for me, this midfield is. I reckon Eriksen in the middle of the park is a weaker link than having Bruno come back in the 8 and having Felix in front. I think Eriksen, he just gets overrun whenever they at least Bruno's got legs on him.
But the thing is, though, let me big up to HK Music. Bruno can't dribble or carry the ball. He can't play it. That's what I'm saying. He can't dribble and he can't carry the ball. He don't possess them qualities. He's been a bit more in terms of possession. He's carried himself a little bit more better this year under Ten Hag than he has previously. But I still think fundamentally, when it gets to the top,
Bruno is press resistant.
Better.
Bruno's press resistant. Bruno's press resistant.
I almost prefer Bruno being higher up the pitch, receiving the ball higher, close to the final third, where he can use his instinct, because he's an instinct baller. Like he sees things and pictures and patterns and hits.
But when he plays the 6 guys,
if you don't listen, if you need an 8 for a cup game or something, you're moving back. But moving forward, realistically, just because he can play that doesn't mean he should play.
But he played his whole career. We bought him from Sporting Lisbon as an 8.
I'm not saying he can't. No, Musa, I'm not saying he can't play that. Yeah, but I genuinely believe, for the way our team is looking right now and for the importance of Bruno, what he's showing in this team, I don't think he can be as important as he is at the moment high up the pitch as an 8. Doesn't mean he can't play there. Of course he can.
You see all those goals that he got for Sporting, he got them as an 8.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to let man know.
Everything else was different. It's not like Sporting playing.
No, but that's what I said. The manager has to get it right. This is what I'm saying. Play your ball, because Bruno was doing what Gundogan is doing for City at Sporting. That's why we got him. He was controlling games, and he was different. And he was arriving late in the box. And I'm saying, when we've seen him do it, like even when he played the 6 for about 3 games, 2 of the games he was on point. And you know what I like? I like when Bruno's forced to do it simple. When he's forced to do things simple, you start to see the class in him. But sometimes when we give him this number 10 role, you've got to be audacious and do your thing.
What
And I
position
think
was he
you
playing
see
for
him-
Portugal?
He plays
Portugal
him
is an
on
8. He's not a 10.
Eight.
He's an 8.
again.
Everywhere. The only time Bruno's played 10 in his career is at Man United with flipping what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who just said, "Go and do what you want, lad." Ole's just
Because
on do your
Portugal,
own
he was
thing, lad.
cold. Portugal, Bruno was good at Portugal.
Because he
so-
plays in a
Yeah, he has
system
to-
where he has to
around.
limit himself.
We need
Yeah.
technical players around him. But I
Yeah.
feel like
This
for
is
me,
why we're go on.
no, but I feel like for me, what the system at Man United entails is that we're playing further forward for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
No, man, don't listen. That was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Eric Ten Hag can do it. Like, if Eric can't get the best out of Bruno, then Lord have
It's not about
mercy.
Eric
Man. I
not getting
got
the
it
best
wrong.
out of him. It's about can Eric fit Bruno in the system he wants, and that's what I'm trying to say. His first season, right? Obviously Bruno's been given a role and responsibility. It's been clear. His ball game has been different to when he was under Ole. So if he's been working on that, which he clearly looks like it, same with Rashford, same with his inverted forwards, his wing backs being inverted forwards now when they come in rather than going on the outside. Yeah, if that's been the case, why all of a sudden? I can't say it won't happen, but I don't see it happening where that was just a one-season trial and now I want you to do something different because of this. I genuinely believe Bruno's settled in his position. I think he will play the 8 role. He will know and understand the role. However, I think he's going to go for an 8 that's already modeled in the shape that he wants and continue Bruno doing what he's doing, which is slightly higher up the pitch. Doesn't mean he doesn't drop into 8, because of course he does. He tracks back a lot of the time as well, where he picks the ball up in wider areas in midfield, and when he's closer to the box, you see him, he's normally around the 18-yard box on the edge of the area. So if you look at his patterns of play, he's actually all over. But more time, when we're in possession of the ball, he'll pick up the ball in wider areas if we've been countered and we've received it, or if we've won the back higher up the pitch, he's normally within the middle box of the 18, around on the outside of the area, and that's where I can see him playing. Doesn't mean I don't think he can do a job at it. Of course he can. You're bang on, Musa. But from a perspective of the manager and what he's seemingly doing with him, I just don't see him switching that up that drastically unless it's needed, like a cup game or he needs whatever. Do you know what I mean? Unless
What's
it's an
mad
injury.
with Bruno though? I think that Bruno's an 8 that's been doing a job at 10 rather than him being a 10 and can do a job at 8. And I think that's why when you see him for club, when you see him for country and his former club, he's actually an 8 that does a good job at 10. And I think if you
that's
just
what
get him
Musa's
back,
basically saying. He needs to be put in the right system, basically.
He has to
Have
be
the
put
right
in the
people
right
around
system.
him, and we can utilize them to the best of the
because
best.
he's one of our most up and down players. Like he's a box to box number
you
8.
don't run out of energy. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, he's a box to box. Bruno
Yeah,
plays
he's
like
an
what?
8. Of course he's an 8.
He
Like,
played
by
like what?
nature, he's an
60.
8.
Yeah, how
I'm
many
just
games he played? 60, what? 65 games he played this season or something crazy.
But what I was on about is when we need to create balance. I said Bruno Fernandes again will be in that middle crossroads as to do we get the best start quality of him, or do we have this roaming 8 who just runs around a lot and it creates a little bit of energy?
It's not every
No.
game. Yeah.
Because look, when you look at Fred, look, when you look at Fred, we say he runs around, he's got no quality. Then you look at Ericsson, we say he's got quality, but he doesn't run around. Bruno's got both guys. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, of course.
Bruno's not just going to run around and he's going to come on, guys. It's not going like he ain't got quality.
If we're going to play this PMP, I'm looking at the evolution of Ten Hag. I'm not looking at the past, and I'm not trying to discredit Bruno Fernandes. I'm saying that he's got the numbers, but I'm saying if you want to bring in Caicedo and then bring in other technical football, where is it now? Where's the crossroad? Where we're looking
Remember,
at?
we play it like this. We play where the 6 is there, then the 8's a bit up, then we got the 10. So for me, Bruno can, that 8 where Bruno is like sometimes can overlap and play the 10 and then also come and defend. I just feel like Mason Mount can't do it better than Bruno. We're about to spend £70 million or £60 million on Mason Mount, and he can't do it better than Bruno. That's my only argument that scares me with Eric Ten Hag, that whatever Mason Mount can do, Bruno can do it better.
Can do it as well.
Yeah, so why not go and spend?
I'll be real.
Why don't you go?
I think the solution to it is that if we do get Mason Mount, he's going to change. I'm not going to say he's literally going to copy Man City, but I don't think what you explained there with like the number 6, the number 8, and the number 10, it's going to be like that anymore. We're going to move towards that sort of City sort of formation where they have a back 3 and one of our wing backs are moving next to Casemiro, and we'll play like a 3-2-4-1 where Mount and Bruno will play as like 2 10s basically with 2 wide man and 1 up front. So it's like a 3-2-4-1, and that's exactly what City do. They have Rodri there, and then they literally have Gundogan, De Bruyne, Grealish,
But you
and
need
then
tactically
who's on the
different
right hand
players.
side?
You
Whether
need
Oh,
Mahrez or
2-8.
where. Guys,
Okay.
guys. Let me
Yeah,
just
yeah.
read these
I'm
stats
with you.
before I
I'm with
mention
you.
that one. HK said United fans need to understand Bruno's not good enough, and there's a reason why we're the only people in for him from Sporting. We need to stop being delusional. Bruno is not press resistant. Bruno gets subbed off all the time for Portugal. The guy's so overrated by our fans. Big up
Oh.
Jay Soldier. Bruno only shines when lower tables with lots of space to run. Even for Portugal, he lacks the quality at the big stage. Bruno is very much an 8. We need Madders in the 10. Bruno's an 8 with 0 defensive ability. And whether 8 or 10 is he world class, that's for a whole nother debate as well. But my thing is, when I look at what Tyrone was saying and where we're trying to go, I just look at the next stage. Like I keep saying, the next evolution of what we're trying to build is, can Bruno Fernandes, can we optimize Bruno Fernandes, or have we seen the best? Can we? And also, when you look at that system that you're saying there, Tyrone, all of them have a football IQ, technical ability to play that system. You can't just rock up and say, oh, Bruno Fernandes can play in that. Oh, 3-4. No, you have to be IQ, you have to be on point, you have to be technically secure, you have to be press resistant. And I just think for me, when we're trying to build all this lot here, I just look at Bruno Fernandes, I think, right, okay, if he's not playing further forward in that final transition, have we maxed out in that 8 role that Bruno, that Musa's talking about? Have
We've just said that our manager is trying to buy a poorer version of Bruno for £70 million. That's my only argument. Had we not been linked with Mason Mount, I wouldn't be saying we've already got Bruno that can do that. I just feel like when our manager's out here trying to buy Mason Mount, the only thing what Tyrone said that kind of makes sense to me is that our manager wants to have 2 8s that can actually also play as 10s, so that they can do their job in the middle of the park and be also further up, rather than having a 10 who can't really do the 8 job. He cannot, because what I was going for. Yeah, I'm gone.
No, you're here. You're
My
here.
battery. Now my battery's dying. It's gone.
Oh,
yeah. No worries. We'll catch you next time, innit, Musa, man. So blessed. We're gonna wrap up the show soon, anyway. Yeah, man. Love, man. Big up Musa, man. But yeah, it comes down to preference in it. I just look at it and I just want us to play better in midfield, man, and just not having every time getting rolled over. That's where I just I'm tired of it.
It's just like pinball,
We don't
innit?
control games, man. That's just where I kind of look at it. DF saying here, Saeed keeps waffling about control like he didn't back the keeper who hoofs it up just a couple of weeks.
By the way, can I just back you on this? By the way, I'm gonna back you. By the way, people can have a footballing opinion and then change their footballing opinion over time. It doesn't mean because Saeed backed De Gea, he can't change his mind now and say, do you know what? From what I've seen, he's not good enough. Football can be, you can change.
There's been a lot that's happened over that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's been a lot. There's been Europa League. There's been the West Ham game.
Yeah, man. People think what you said 5 years ago still stands. It's like, come on, man.
But I also knew, I also understood that there was deficiencies in David De Gea. But when I looked at the fact that the defense and what was going on in front of him, like he was creating a lot of anxiety. And you have to almost admit it. Say, you know what? He ain't good enough for what Ten Hag needs to build next season. So, end of the day, I've admitted it. Are all the fans ready to admit about Bruno? Are ready to admit about maybe Sancho, Martial, all them other players? Maybe are other fans ready to admit about that? That's the key question. Everyone needs to be honest about their football club. Are you honest about your players and whether they're good enough or not? If we're not having them conversations, then we might as well just, say everything's okay and be like, you know what? Everything's cool. We're all under control. Everything's going to be good. And Ten Hag, he's going to take the best out of these players. We all know they've been here for far too long and things have to change. That's the way I kind of look at it. So it is what it is, people. It is what it is. But listen, people, we're going to wrap it up here. Big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you go get 10% off. Link in the description for the link over there. Use the code Saeed to go get 10% off Boohoo Man. And yeah, Mandem, it's been a good one, man. What are you saying, man? Najee, man, let them know where they can find you, man.
Of course, you got me, man. Right there at Sunshine 47. Obviously in Roman numerals this time now. But yeah, man. Same old on Instagram, Twitter. Same old bits, man. You know me. If you need me for anything, if you want football shirts, let me know. I got you guys. Man United, the new Man United shirt, home and away, has just come out as well. We've just been given it okay to start releasing them as well. So make sure you go and shout me for that.
Yeah, I'm going to shout you. I'm going to shout you still. Can't lie.
Shout me, man. Shout me. I think the size is limited as well, people. So just get back to me as soon as possible because we only got a few in the warehouse. But yeah, shout me on that one. And go shout my new mix as well. Mixcloud and SoundCloud. If you're an R&B lover, go check that out, man. Do you know what I mean? Been winding up. Do your thing. Do you know what I mean? If you got a missus and you want to make her happy one night, do you know what I mean? Just put the mix on. Do you know what I mean? That's what I do, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't make the rules. I just play the music, man. That's the way it is. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, go do all that stuff. And of course on Twitter, where most of my Man United content is, Sunshine47. Just there somewhere. There you go. Just hit that one, man. But big up to the panel, of course. You already know that I love being on the Mandem talk, man. It's been sick. Shout out to Saeed for actually putting me in the thumbnail. I don't know if you saw that,
man.
people. I made the thumbnail. So like the Ross Clark video. Yeah. Like the Ross Clark video because I made the thumbnail, people. I made it, yeah? Make sure you go do that. But shout out to everyone, man. Absolute pleasure as always. And I hope everyone stays healthy and blessed. And hopefully, good news in a couple of days, man. Qatari in. Let's go.
Let's go, man. Let's go. By the way, just before I shout out Tyrone and Rhino, there's a Discord now. I made a new Discord, so everyone wants to get involved. Discord hype, man. Everyone's been asking me. So join the Discord right now. Man United chat, rival chat. Yeah, man. Big up to you guys. Rhino, man. Big up to you, bro. Love for coming on.
Yeah, man. Always, man. Appreciate you for having me, man. Big up the Mandem. YouTube, search Rhino NGTV. My channel should come up. And my Twitter and Instagram, Rhino UK Official, man. I'm going to try and be more consistent, but big up the Mandem as always, man. It's always a vibe, man. I'm good. It's good, man.
Absolutely, man. And Tyrone, man, it's been a pleasure, man. Big up to you,
yeah, man, as always, man. Big up everyone in the comments, man, showing love. Big up Nadu and everyone else as well in there. Big up Rhino, Naji, every single time. You know what time it is, and Saeed as well, man. Make sure you like and subscribing if you're new, people. Never a foul for all our content, generic. And then Trafford Tunnel, I am definitely going to be getting up and running, man. Bare people are always on to me, man. So I am definitely going to make sure Trafford Tunnel is up and running soon, even if it's a few shows a week. So yeah, man, big up everyone that's watching, and obviously my Twitter's down there as well, man. But yeah, don't forget to like the video and then show love, man. So big up.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, man, people, I'm gonna be on Bleacher Report tomorrow on their app.
Hey.
So
yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
We out here.
Love it, man.
So, yeah, man. Appreciate it. So
Strong,
I think that'll be about 4 p.m. UK time. So you just have to download the app, and I'll put the link out tomorrow. That you can go listen in to Bleacher Report. Shout to them guys for shouting me. And yeah, man, join the Discord. I'll be back tomorrow. Calling show tomorrow, 5 p.m. I'll see you there, guys, man. Enjoy the stream. Enjoy the rest of the day. We're out. Peace.